1 second. Go over to speaker view. All right, there we go. All right, well, thank you so much for being here. I want to welcome everybody to Winning Wednesday. I'm very excited about something new that we're going to be doing with our Winning Wednesdays every few weeks. We are going to be introducing, or today we're introducing what we call as the Champions Edition. The Champions Edition. I say that and I just see Garth's smile. Like he just lights up the moment that I say that. So we're introducing the Champions Edition. And what that is where we are going to be interviewing different leaders and influencers among our community. And the goal is to learn from, to really build belief through these different leaders and be inspired by these different leaders. And I really think that there's a lot that we can learn just through exploring a leader's story and understanding what they've been through to get to where they are today and some of the things that they've learned along the way. And so that's really what we're kicking off today. And I'm super excited to have Dr. Erin Oksol and Garth Oksol here with us today. For those of you that don't know, Dr. Erin is a speaker, she's a psychologist, she's a business coach, she's a 5-time #1 best-selling author. Garth is an engineer, a very successful engineer. They are corporate directors here at APL Go. They are recent winners of the Diamond Flight Award, but they didn't just hit 10, then they hit 11, then they hit 12, all in the same day and just crushed it. So they are now among the elite that have hit that club. And that's a prestigious honor, by the way. That's something that only Sergi awards every year at the annual convention. I even, talked to him about putting something up on the team page yesterday or corporate pages. And he says, no. That's something that I only do personally at the actual event. No. So it's a big deal. So Dr. Erin and Garth, thank you so much for being here. How are you guys today?
Thank you, Travis. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
We are here to serve you, and we hope that what we say just helps you. Thank you, Travis.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. I want to just kind of let people get to know you guys a little bit. So let's start off. We would like to know how you guys met. I want to start there. I want to know how you guys met or who pursued who in the relationship. Let's just kind of start there, get to know Dr. Erin and Garth.
Okay.
Garth will tell this story very long, so it's very easy.
Well,
it's very quick.
But it's so funny.
We were set up on a blind date with our friends, Scott and Katie. He took one look at me and didn't talk to me for the rest of the dinner because he thought he didn't have a chance because I was so hot. And then by the end of the date, I was like, Katie, I really liked him. Can I have another date with him? And the rest is history. And we've been together ever since. And it was in college. And we've been together ever since. And I just knew that God had sent him to me.
And I was pretty sure it was a joke when they told me that she wanted to go out with me again. Because I was like, I didn't talk to her the whole night.
That's just it. That's the story. That's it.
I think there's a lesson here. There's a great lesson here, right? So about belief in yourself, right? Garth, you don't get what you want, you get what you what? What is it?
Believe, yeah.
You get what you believe. And so you went into that kind of lacking the self-confidence, it sounds like, to be able to land this smoking lady here.
Well, she went to the private Lutheran school where, like, if you could date a girl from Concordia College, you were the top dog on campus.
So then second date, he shows up in this Eclipse sports car and I get in, I'm like, ooh, I like your car. And he goes, thanks, it's my friend's, mine's in the shop. I mean, the guy had no swagger, people.
None.
We don't know how to explain it other than it was a divine appointment. Okay,
Yep.
We don't know how to explain it.
I love it. I love it.
I guess I've always had perseverance, haven't I?
Yeah, that's one of many missteps I made. So,
So tell us a little bit about your family. Love to get to know your family a little bit more.
So we've got 3 amazing children. Grace, our oldest, is 19. She is rocking the fitness industry as we speak, doing online coaching. She got her NASM certification. She's doing absolutely incredible, living on her own, having a blast with that. Emily just turned 16. She is loving her life with friends. She has her driver's license test here in a month or so. Loves singing. Like we have to tell her she has to take her showers earlier at night because otherwise her concerts.
She belts it out.
Just top of her lungs singing in the shower. Zachary, our 9-year-old, he'll be 10 soon. Just recently found flag football, absolutely loves flag football, has a tremendous heart for people, and it's just a phenomenal little boy that we love having around the house. So
I love that. I see, especially with your oldest, her following in your guys' footsteps in so many ways. And that led me to actually think about how has the network marketing business had an impact on your children as far as their journey and their growth and who you see them turning into today. How would you say network marketing has made an impact for them?
You know, network marketing is where I really started working on Erin. And that was about 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And so Gracie would have been 9. She doesn't know any other way, right? And she has watched us go through several companies and roll her eyes at us and what our mom and dad doing now. But she has learned something, right? That we don't give up. We don't give our dreams a deadline. We don't believe in failure. We believe in pivoting, right? And yesterday she's like, I just don't think I can work a 9 to 5. I'm like, I have ruined you. Like, so she's like, I just don't think I could do it. I'm like, yeah, me neither, honey. So good thing you learned that so young, because it took me a hot minute to learn that. So, it's annoying to be the children of a motivational speaker and psychologist, but they do benefit in some ways, right?
Of course, of course. Well, they've got wonderful role models. And sometimes people, parents especially, I remember early on, they might feel guilty in network marketing because they're missing dinner at a certain time, right? Like network marketers have to adapt, they have to adjust a little bit. And there's many occasions where, like last night was one of them, we didn't even start cooking dinner until 8 o'clock. And it's just because that's what network marketing families do. But we've learned, and I guess what I want to ask you is, how do you get your family on board with that, right? And then what would you say to somebody that's overcoming or going through some of that guilt, right? What would you say to them?
Yeah.
Well, I want Garth to tell the story quickly, but I want to set it up like this. It's such a great question, Travis, but your family needs to win with you. Your significant other needs to win with you. You cannot ask them to sacrifice all the things and they don't have a win. And so Garth, you were so wise when I was starting my own business, and you sat the children down, and I was befuddled that you knew how to do this, that you knew to do this, but tell them what you told them.
I basically just said, things are going to look a little different going forward. Mommy's going to be working hard on this, and we're going to support that. And she's going to grow this, and things are going to look much different here in a couple of years. But in the meantime, we all need to step up in our roles around the house, help me around the house.
Do laundry.
Yep. Help with laundry, help with dishes, help with the dogs. And we're going to do this for a couple of years and build this. And then things are going to be incredibly different for the better.
So we have a chart. I can see it right here. And it's our Candy Cruise thermometer. And whenever we were earning a point, we had Zachary go and use a marker and mark in that we were almost earning the cruise. They are winning with us, right? We are the Oksol team that builds this. So when we finally made it to Disneyland, that was my dream, that I could afford 5 people going to Disneyland. To me, that was like some definition of success in adulthood or something, because it's very expensive. And we were there a couple years ago, and Emily looked up at me, and she was 13 at the time, and she said, "Thank you for growing your business. Will you teach me how to grow a business when I'm older, Mom?" I'm like, I will. So they don't bemoan our efforts. They enjoy our efforts, right?
Such good stuff. I hope you guys are listening, and what great advice to bring the children into the overall experience. Joby says, our daughter taught us 3 years ago, or told us 3 years ago into MLM, or our daughter told us about 3 years into MLM when we were in leadership in a previous company, that she noticed that we'd become better parents, and that she had noticed how we now treated each other better since we're really working our business. Your family needs to win with you. And I think that goes along perfectly. And I know that I would imagine that you guys, they've seen the personal growth in both of you as a result of this industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Especially Erin's a mass consumer of self-improvement books and stuff. And yeah. And just the journey that I've seen her go on throughout this process has just been absolutely incredible. I mean, like she mentioned, the corporate life was not meant for Erin. and to see her struggle with that and all of the issues that come with, where she was at that time in her life, to see where she's at right now, and the kids seeing that and being a part of that, it's been absolutely incredible.
I love that. So what led you, I would imagine, Erin, when you were going to school to become a doctor, and Garth, you were in school to become an engineer, and you're sitting in your classrooms and you're doing all the study work and everything, that you weren't saying, gosh, I'm doing all this so that I can become a network marketing professional, right? At that time. So I want to know, where was the pivot? What led you into network marketing? Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Oh my gosh, you guys can relate to this. I know you can relate to some part of this story. Thanks for teeing that up, Travis. I didn't even know what network marketing was, right? I had a private practice for many years. And for 6 years, a friend in Arbonne asked me to join her business. And for 6 years, I said no. And I literally said this: I don't sell, I help people. Like, they were mutually exclusive categories. Okay. So then, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and there was lots of pieces about our lifestyle that we were sick and tired of, like we couldn't afford the free meal, like you'd get a free entree, but we couldn't afford the free meal. Like, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you decide to be willing to change something. And I was like, fine, I will do this if this is going to get me to what Travis calls you financial freedom day. I mean, when the pain of staying the same is bigger, right, than the pain of change, you start to open yourself up. And then I learned all about network marketing. And then I was a voracious consumer of it. But I remember going home after my first month in my first company to my mom, and I'm like, I'm doing this thing. And she's like, how much money did you make? I'm like, $500, which meant like you had made it. Like, if you made $500 the first month, you were going to be somebody. And she's like, are you kidding me? How many hours did you work? And they never make any money. And she's still like, when I tell her what we're going to make, she's still like, and she just laughs at me. And it's just, but I traded my time for money in, private practice. And I realized, as a businesswoman, that only takes you so far. And we kept adding children, not going backwards. We were adding more children, and there weren't more hours that you could be, adding. And I just didn't understand why two professional people could not really make ends meet. And this was the ticket to create something different for our life. And I became, I just fell in love with it. It was where my people were. It was like people that wanted to be better humans. Like, they gravitate toward network marketing.
I love that. People that want to be better humans gravitate towards network marketing. That is so true in every aspect. Garth, were you 100% on board right out of the gate when network marketing was first introduced to you, and Erin says, we're doing this? Like, were you 100% on board? Were you skeptical? I mean, I know the way your mind works, you process things, you have to think about them and analyze them a little bit. It's the engineer in you. So how did were you just immediately on board?
I was naively on board at the very beginning. And I say that because I saw the excitement that Erin had in doing network marketing. So when I saw the excitement she had, I mean, I had to support it. I mean, there was no other option.
Aww.
However, as we got into it, and the way network marketing used to be done with those parties at night, and you have to arrive an hour before to get it set up, and then the party is an hour, and then there's a half hour of socializing afterwards, and then there's a half hour to an hour of closing the sales after that, then there's a half hour of cleaning up. She'd be gone an entire night. And at that point, I was like, okay, this kind of sucks, but I kept seeing the vision. It's like, okay, we're going to get to a point where that's no longer going to happen. And, one thing led to another. I always supported Erin. I always, did what I could around the house. I coached other men, professional men, saying, as men, we are providers. That's innate to us. We want to provide. The traditional sense is we provide the paycheck. But the difference is now what you're providing is you're providing the dinner for your kids. You're providing the clean clothes for your kids. You're providing a clean bed for them to sleep in. You're just providing different. So that's the support you can do for your spouse if they're out doing the network marketing. Now, a shift with that has been recently, and obviously APL Go Meet, a big part of that is that analytical mind you mentioned, Travis. It was hard for me to analytically discuss mascara with people.
True that.
I tried my hardest. I just couldn't quite wrap my head around it. But when it comes to these drops, that clicks with me. And the excitement I've seen of people's testimonies, like Jim was sharing earlier with some of his testimonies, stuff like that lights me up. And being able to provide that experience for others has been a shift for me in supporting Erin and supporting our family doing network marketing.
I love that. So a couple of things that you guys have said that stood out to me. So the first thing that I hope you guys heard was Erin said for 6 years she was not open to network marketing. 6 years. So the lesson in that is you never know when it's going to be somebody's day to say, I'm ready, right? You just never know. So 6 years. And from the outside looking in, most people would say, oh, she's a doctor, he's an engineer, they wouldn't be interested in something like this. And yet here they are now rocking it in the network marketing world. The second thing that, Erin, you said something, and I want to explore it a little bit more. You said, I don't sell, I help people, right? You said that. But I've also, as you've graduated, or you've come into network marketing, you've graduated into leadership, you've said that in some ways we're all selling, right? We're all selling in network marketing. And truly because old school network marketing was, we don't sell, we're here to serve people. But the reality and the truth is we're all selling something, right? An idea, a concept. Can you talk to me just a little bit about that? Because I think people get so hung up in their mind about, oh, I don't want to sell people something. Talk to me a little bit about that, just your thought process.
Well, I'm going to say things that some of you might not want to hear, or that might be opposite of what you think, but we are in the selling industry. It's called network marketing, like direct selling industry is what you all belong to. It's called the direct selling industry. I am really of the belief that we need to fall in love with sales. And if you can get lethally skilled at selling, which Eric Worre's taught us how to do over the years, I never understood, like, what do you mean we're not selling? So I spend a lot of time training our team on falling in love with, yeah, I sell. I can only help people if I sell. Like, that's the only way we can do this. It's exchange. I'm just looking for people who are looking for me. I got a problem. You have a problem. I got a solution. Like, I just love selling because I just think we're walking around the earth like Santa Claus with this bag of gifts, and our only job is to say, like, what's on your list? I just think it's the most noble thing we could do. And so you will not hear from me, oh, it's not selling. No, it's selling. Let's talk about, though, what I believe selling is and what I believe you should believe selling is. So that's a whole nother Oprah show, Travis Flaherty.
Well,
but I love selling, and it's how I became the saleswoman of the year in Nevada after my first year of never knowing anything about selling. And it's because selling is listening, asking questions, teaching people how to think about things, influencing them. It's all psychology. So it's just fun for me.
And I love your perspective on this. It's actually opened my mind up quite a bit to it, because the concept of embracing sales, so many people are like, oh, I'm not a salesperson. But then they're on their social media at night going, hey, everybody, you've got to check out this new show. It's an amazing series that you've got to see. That's selling. That's a form of selling. Or I'm sharing my opinion about this. That's a form of selling. So I think that if people can just get comfortable with that and understand that at the end of the day, selling is, especially in our field, is no more than just serving really others and helping them to get what they want. So the cycle of success is often referred to as dream, struggle, victory. It's not dream victory as much as we would love it to be. So I want to explore the struggles a little bit. No entrepreneur gets through this journey without going through the struggles. And I'd love for you guys to share with us a little bit about how those struggles have impacted you, maybe share some stories with us, and also how they've helped you in some ways as well.
So I'm not sure how far back you want us to go on the struggles, Travis, but we've had the struggles. I mean, Travis, you've heard us speak from stage and other things. We've gone through the whole gamut of what people struggle with. We've been through bankruptcy. We fought off foreclosure on the house with the notices on the front door here. We put our minivan in the street for it to be repoed as part of the bankruptcy. Had to tell our neighbors what was going on because they saw all that. So we've had some very public failures. And that's part of kind of what Erin was talking about before. When the pain of doing the same is greater than the pain of changing, that's when you pivot. That's when you make a shift. Now, Did we come out of the gate in network marketing crushing it? Oh God, no. We made so many mistakes. I remember specifically, I was on the job site and we were watching piles being driven into the ground, which a lot of you don't know what that is, but imagine a gigantic hammer driving a gigantic nail 85 feet into the ground. Not that exciting. So there's a lot of time to talk with people. And I absolutely vomited information about the company we're with at this time.
How cute is that? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I walked away from that. I was like, God, that felt kind of yucky.
Like, oh, I got to take a shower.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about struggles in network marketing. For 6 years, we never saw a paycheck over $120. 6 years. You guys, I just believed what they told me, that if you stick around for 7 years, you'll make it in this company. I just believed it. I was like, I must need to work harder. I must. So, but along the way, there's always struggle. Like, if you don't think there's even struggle at this point, you're wrong. So even that question is like, your next level has a new devil. Like, you've never been where you're going.
That's so good.
It's so true, right? And so it's like, well, that was the struggle then, but what's the struggle now?
Yeah.
So your bounce back ability factor grows stronger. So you learn mental toughness. Like, I used to cry myself to sleep every month end because network marketing to me was this indicator of whether I had worth on the planet. So if any of you are listening and it's doing that to you, we need to get out of that as soon as possible. But I didn't know how to get out of it. So that's one big reason why I don't struggle as much anymore. I realized, and I knew God had put network marketing in my life to bless me, not to shame me, but I did not know how to get out of that. I did not. And this industry is so about recognition and levels, and that's why people come. And so it can be a double-edged sword. If it can be really painful if you're using this industry as an indicator for your worth on the planet. And if you get over that and you know that that's not what you're proving, what would your work look like if you didn't have that to prove? It's fun, game on. Mm-hmm. And so, there's always struggle, but there was always victory. There was always like, I just sold a mascara. I mean, it was fun for me. It's always been fun. Like, if you don't like the process, you guys, there's no end point. I don't know if you know this. There's no end point. So if you think there is, like, you've got to enjoy every step of the journey.
I think
not enjoy every step of the journey, but be present. I don't know. It's just the journey.
Yeah. I think what you said, the bounce back ability is huge. Just starting out, when we were newbies in the industry, rookies, infants, whatever, the bounce back ability was hard. You'd get that no from someone or the family member that would tell you something, and it was hard to recover from that. Mm-hmm. So that's where the bounce back ability, as we've grown and shifted and pivoted and recognized that what's that saying of your opinion of me doesn't pay my bills, or something along the lines. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that on your social media.
Can't pay your bills with somebody else's opinion.
Thank you. Yes, Travis, you can't pay your bills with someone else's opinion. Taking that to heart energized us to go to that next. It's like, okay, they said no, we're going to go show them what's possible. So the bounce back ability, when we get a no, it still affects us. We're still disappointed. We're still like, oh man, that would have been so great for them. Yeah, exactly. But we're going to move on.
So I was thinking about this, you guys. Do you remember last March? It was like the beginning of COVID. I don't know about any of you, but that was terrifying. And things look really great now, but we didn't have APL Go in our life until September. And we would go on daily walks, and most of the time I'd be crying because I just could not believe that this last company we're with and everything had, like, nothing had worked, right? Nothing was paying what we knew we were worth, what we knew we were putting in. We called Travis. We're like, I can't help my team win. I can't even get them $1,000 paycheck. I could not help Pamela get $1,000. I was crying in the beginning of COVID. So the fact that this came into our life, everyone on this call, we had to say yes to this. We had to pivot. We had to say, I'm going to try this again. And I remember saying, Garth, You cannot pay me enough money to schlep a protein shake or something that is already exists in the market. I'm done with network marketing. I can't do it. The money is not worth it to me if it's about that. And he's like, no, this is something different. I think we should look at it. And we signed up within about 2 hours of looking at it. So I want you to understand though, like successful people make quick decisions. Are you taking forever to make a decision? Like you need to make a decision and then done.
Well, it's like the training you do.
Like
most of us here, ready, set, go.
I mean,
there are people that spend months in the ready.
Like
before they're
just
set.
go.
Like, so
you guys,
Erin,
you're never going to get this time back.
Yeah, Erin does training on go, set, ready.
Like you're never going to get a whisper campaign back. I don't think people understand like how good a whisper campaign is. You're never going to get that back.
You know, there's a
never ever going to be able to say that again.
Yep.
So there's struggles always. Like,
well, first of all, I think we found the title to your next book. Your Next Level Has a New Devil, by the way. So I think everybody loved that. That was really, really good. You talked about the struggle, and you think about, I think that people have this perception that once you hit a certain level of leadership that you just don't have any challenges. And the reality is there's always challenges. They just look different. But there's challenges in everything, right? Like if I'm working for somebody else in corporate America, Garth, I haven't been in corporate America ever actually, but I would imagine that there's politics that is involved in corporate America. Is that true or not true?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I would imagine that, you know, not necessarily getting paid what your worth exists in those type of environments as well. I would imagine that struggling to make ends meet or to pay the bills is also struggle. There's struggle in anything that you do. It's no different here. Yep. Garth, you said something, or I can't remember, Erin, I think you said it. Nobody has more questions than the person that's not going to get started or do anything after joining the business. Isn't that true? Because the most successful people that I know, they just go. They just set themselves on fire, and they just, what's Eric Worre say? What's the success formula that he gives? Say yes. What is it, Erin? You know it. Say yes, tell the world, and figure it out.
Figure it out. Yeah.
That's a success formula.
Yeah.
If you could go back to your beginning stages, what would you tell yourself, or what would be some practical advice that you would give somebody who is just starting out in network marketing?
Oh, the second question I'll dive in, because I think the first question is like, I couldn't change anything because it was all good, right? It's all like it refines the diamond, right? Like it, right? Like, so
that's a good analogy.
If you can't like understand that it was all good, then you're missing it. And I think that's why.
I just want to build on that real quick. When you think about a diamond and it comes out of the ground, it's not that pretty looking. And every cut of it, every insult, every impact is refining the shape of that diamond and the polishing and the 4 C's of it. So that's exactly like network marketing. When you come into it, you're going to take your lumps, your bumps, your nicks, your cuts, your slices, but all of that is shaping you into the actual diamond itself that comes out in the end.
So good.
So good.
I know. Let's go get a bigger diamond, honey.
I love it.
I would say from day one, be coachable. And you all might think you're 10s out of 10s. None of us are 10s out of 10s. Are you really coachable? The people that are like, what would you do? I did it when Travis, I said, Travis, what would you have me do? And I did it. Like, are you really coachable? We have everything you'd ever need in network marketing. Every script you'd ever need, are you really coachable? And that's a hard question to ask yourself. Just get coachable, and you can save yourself a lot of time and money and energy and pain, and just get coachable.
I think the one thing I would tell myself starting out, and I know we still have so much more in front of us, but just as we sit here today, I would just tell myself it's worth it.
That's good. I love that. What's one fear that you've had to overcome to network marketing? Talk to me about a fear that you've had to overcome.
How much time do we have, people? All of them. I've always thought I was a high performer, but I was just riddled with fear. I was a perfectionist and a performer, pleaser, prover. And so, I was the poster child for fear. I feared what everyone thought of me. I feared I would never make it. For many years, I feared I would never actually potentiate what I knew God had given me. Like, that's my greatest fear now, is like, I don't even have that fear anymore, because with this company, I see it. Like, I've never seen it. Like, now I'm like, I'm already a millionaire, but my paycheck just hasn't caught up. But like, I never really felt that until now. But because when you know you have the system to get there, you're like, oh, it's just working the system. But every fear, but mostly that I just wasn't good enough. And it wasn't, why is this not happening for me? It must be because it's never going to happen for me. And it just, every single fear.
And for me, it was the fear of what if other people think of me, because the engineering industry, engineers, we're different in the way we think and do things and process things. And my fear was what other people, like Garth has lost his marbles.
Yeah. He's going to be retiring soon with APL Go, and people will think he's lost his marbles.
And you know what, at this point,
you do not leave a well-paid job as an engineer to do network marketing. Like, that will trigger so much.
Yes, I will.
You're like, yes, we will. But so, you work through that fear.
Yeah.
So I'm going to reverse this question a little bit now. What would you say to the people that are watching this that are saying things to themselves like, I'm not good enough, I'm not like them, I'm not like the Oksols, I'm not cut out for this, or, I don't know if I can overcome, like, what would you say to them, Dr. Erin?
Well, first, whenever you rank people, it causes pain and suffering. So I want you to ask yourself, I wonder how I'm like Dr. Erin and Garth. I wonder what struggles I've shared with them. I wonder what strengths and qualities they have developed that I also could develop, so that you put yourself right here. We're all just humans. So that is really going to help you with that suffering. Okay. So start wondering, I wonder what I could do to skill up. What was his question? What was your question? I wanted to add another thing. What would you say? Okay. Big psychology lesson I'm going to give you right now. You've got to behave your way into different thinking instead of trying to think your way into different behaving. I'm going to say that again. All the research shows it. You've got to behave your way into different thinking instead of thinking your way into different behaving. And Eric Worre says there is not a problem that you cannot solve in this industry with action. Action solves all problems. This business, I don't know if you agree with me, but it's not super fun to think about all day long. It's not. It can be maddening.
Yeah.
To think about it all day long and what you're not doing and what everyone else is doing. And there is nothing that can't be solved with action. So your action will grow your confidence, and your action will grow the ability of your brain to say, I didn't die when they said no, and all the things. So stop trying to think your way into different behavior. Stop. Just go and do it. And your thinking will come along for the ride, and then become insanely addicted to investing in yourself.
So I'm going to share something real quick. So Erin, she's become a professional speaker. She does trainings, like this. You see her energy, you see her excitement. But in grad school, the entire goal in grad school was to get this one sitting right here to talk.
I passed out on internship because I had panic disorder around talking, you guys. I created this brain, and you can too. So get addicted to personal growth, changing your mindset. Like Travis said, it's the greatest asset. Your moneymaker is here. I'm going to need a cigarette, Travis Flaherty.
I love it. I relate. A lot of people would never guess this about me, but my biggest fear was speaking.
Yes.
I mean, I was terrified of it, and I've shared
Most
some stories
humans
about that. So, I think that what we want you to understand is that there is no fear that you can't overcome through, as Erin says, taking massive action. That is the key. Just going out and doing it and doing it and doing it. What are give us 2 or 3 things that you've learned about the business of network marketing that maybe you didn't know when you first started? What are 2 or 3 standout things that you've learned that really you've gone, okay, that makes sense. Now I understand why we need to do it this way. What are just a couple of things that stand out in your mind?
You want to go first? I got mine.
Well, mine wasn't so much along those lines. When you first started out, Travis, what popped into my head was something I actually did a post, I don't know, a couple months ago or something like that. And it was because we are reaching the levels of success that we're reaching here with APL Go. And I reflected back on past network marketing companies that we were with, and when we would see the leaders talk about how excited they were to see their team succeed, I'm not naturally a cynic, but there's a little cynical part of my brain that thought, well, of course you're excited because we're building your paycheck. Mm-hmm. But now that we are fortunate enough to be in the position that we're at, and we're seeing the success that
Bring it, Garth. Bring it. I love it. I love where you're going. Keep it going.
Yeah, when we're seeing the success that people on our team are having, it's absolutely true. I love seeing it. It gives us energy. I'm so happy for them. And it's absolutely true. And I can't wait for all of you to have that same feeling.
Oh, I love you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Erin, did you want to add to that?
Well, I was going to say it's something Travis Flaherty taught. I was going to say it's what Travis Flaherty taught me. If I had known this from day one, that the system in network marketing is what you taught me. And now our team knows it, but conversation, invitation, presentation, follow-up, collect a decision. If I had known that, I think I could have had tracks to run on. Because we can only help people if we can give them the system. And so that has changed my business and life, Travis, and just the way that you put that, I will always be grateful to you. So I wish people could just could really understand there's a success system that is, it's a business, you know, and truly, if you don't love humans, like you're probably in the wrong business. Mm-hmm. And I know you all love humans. And so the most, beautiful thing you can do is share this with people, as many as you possibly can. So I don't know.
My next question, Garth, you already beat me to it, but I want to ask it anyways, because I think it just kind of hammers home what he just said. I said the past eight or 9 months, you've earned more in network marketing than you ever have. And now you have people on your team who are winning. How does that make you feel? But Garth, I think that we just saw how it makes you feel.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah.
Just a couple more questions, guys, as we wrap up here. Why should those people that are listening in right now keep going? Right? I mean, it's, Erin, you said it earlier, it's a hard business, right? It's an emotional business, but you got to pick your heart. So why should people keep going?
That's a great question. I can't answer that for everyone watching. You've got to ask yourself why you should keep going. People ask me probably more than anything, how do you get so much done, Dr. Erin? And the answer is very simple. I'm so clear on what I want. I'm so clear. And it looks and feels like I'm insanely productive. But I am so crystal clear on getting this guy retired and building our home. We visit it almost every week. There's a hill up here that I'm pointing to where we're building. I'm just so crystal clear on that. And so if you can get in the practice of putting in your mind's eye why the heck you're here, you will never need to be motivated again. Like, I don't want any of you to need to be motivated. I want you to be reminded of why are you here? Ask yourself that question. Like, why would you keep going? There are many, many ways to get rich in this world. You just got to pick the one you want. When I really realized that there are many ways to get rich, there's many ways to be successful. Pick how you want to do it. If you don't want to be here, don't stay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, figure out what you want in your life. That's just what makes me appear so productive. My dreams light me up. I'm like awake in my life to my dreams. Are you awake? Are you awake?
Garth, what's it going to feel like when you declare your financial freedom day? What does that look like? What does that feel like to you?
We already have. Okay, keep going.
But it's
we did. We celebrated.
Yeah. What's interesting with that, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm a little fearful because I don't know what it's going to be like. Like my kids, when we told my kids what was going to happen, I think my daughter said, Dad, no, we can't, you're an engineer. We don't know what you, like, they couldn't picture Dad as not an engineer. So part of that is like, what am I going to do on that first day after retirement? So there's a little bit of fear in that, but here's the other thing about that. It's a very small fear because it's like a healthy fear. It's like, okay, it's the unknown, but it's an exciting unknown. It's like a new challenge, a new chapter in our life, a new opportunity for us to create what we want to create with our kids and not being tied to something.
Can I tell them the story, Travis?
Please do, yes.
About when we came to Travis about a year ago, said we need to make $10,000 a month to like change our life. Like that's what we need. And, you know, to retire him and all sorts of things. You guys, we did that in our first month at APL Go. Like we've never had what we all have here. We've never had everything all in one place. We never had a product that everyone wanted and everyone could benefit from and everyone could afford. We never had that with the past company. We had products that were the best, but no one could afford it. Like we've got everything here and we have a compensation plan that pays 3 times. So if you look at when that first company said, stick around for 7 years, like, yeah, that we've nailed that. You could get that income here in about 1 year. That was like 20,000 a month. Like that's so what's going to happen here for people. And I just want you to realize that if you knew how close the finish line were, I think you'd run a little harder. I just do. I think you all might think because you've been indoctrinated that things take 7 to 10 years. I just think we've been indoctrinated because usually it does. This isn't what's usual here.
Yeah.
I cannot believe we hit our financial freedom day during a global recession and pandemic, and we did it with this vehicle.
So I've got my order in on a pickup that it's a Rivian, all electric. I won't get into it because it gets me really excited about all the stuff it can do. But anyways, the CEO of this company, he's done a number of interviews, and this guy, he's like 34 years old.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Yeah, they did an interview of him, kind of his vision of what he had. And one of the things they asked him was like, well, how do you keep going? And he said, what drives me, and I might butcher this quote a little bit, but he says, basically, what drives me is when we're on the precipice of failure, the vision of how great it's going to be when we get there keeps me going. So when you think it's about ready to, you got that no, or the business didn't grow this month like you did, when you're at that precipice, just remind yourself of how good it's going to be when you get to the peak. And that's what keeps him driving. And what's interesting, he said, in this industry, I've got to spend $3 billion before I turn my first dollar of profit. Or before
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah. We have to spend $3 billion before we do our first dollar in sale. So talk about having a long-term vision. And
we
struggles.
schlep candy here, people. Do you understand? We schlep candy. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Erin, do you think that most people that are listening right now understand truly what they have in their hands?
No, I don't truly understand. And I don't need to understand in order to do it. Like I know enough to be like, I just know it's possible. And so here we go. No.
Well, and I think the other thing with that too, this is what Erin and I have talked a lot about. So we've been in the industry, like we talked about, for 10 years. A number of people on the call here are watching on replay, been in the industry for other years as well. And we've all heard those numbers, those time frames that were the standard, if you will, or still are with many companies, of how long it's going to take you to get to X. Well, all of that gets thrown out the window here when you've got this type of compensation plan in a whisper campaign with this much excitement and momentum behind it. So all of those numbers, you've got to expedite them sooner. And that's where I think people struggle with, not understanding what they have right in front of them, because their mindset is the way it was.
But don't stick around trying to figure out what's going to happen for you. Just go and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dr. Erin, I don't know who to talk to. I don't have anybody to talk to.
So there's 7 billion people in the world and they're not running away from you. I learned that from Ron Williams, right? They're everywhere. These humans are everywhere.
every single person that you meet is struggling with one of three things: not having enough money, not having enough time, or wanting better health. And isn't it a great business to be in that you have the ability to make a difference in all three of those areas?
Amen.
Absolutely. Dr. Erin and Garth, you guys are an inspiration and we're grateful for you. Is there anything that we're leaving out, or is there anything that you would like to say for those that are listening? Any advice or any closing thoughts that you guys have?
One thing that I learned from Joby, and I teach my new people this: you will never hear from me. This is from me, but you will never have me, raise your right arm and say, I'll never quit you. I will never quit APL Go. But can you say you'll be here a year from now? Can you just tell yourself, let's have this discussion a year from now. Let's go out to lunch, Dr. Erin. Let's do this. If I do the system for a year, are you going to, don't give your dreams a deadline, but tell yourself, I'm going to do this. I'll give this a year.
Beautiful. Garth?
Thank you, Joby.
Well, listen,
Thank you, everybody.
You've inspired us today. We're grateful for you. We're grateful for your leadership. You guys have grown just so much. And I'm truly honored to be able to work with you guys and just watch your leadership and how you guys lead by example. And I'm truly grateful for that. We've got time for maybe one or two questions or any thoughts, comments, or feedback before we wrap up today's call. Is there anybody on that has a question for Dr. Erin or Garth, or a comment or something that they would like to share before we wrap up today's call? Feel free to unmute yourself.
Travis, I want to say how thankful to God I am that in that previous company, in that previous experience, people on this call, our lives became intertwined. That's me and you a long time ago. I'd never have met these two had I not met you a while ago, right? And it's recognizing that we're eagles, and so we don't often flock. And yet when we can, and we see, and we can, guide off each other and draft off each other, these two, I'm so proud to be a part of your organization. I'm so proud to be a part of their organization, because and they have made me a better leader. We are pushing that down. Erin and Garth, you are building something that is rock solid, because we started right, and we have a circle that guides the decisions for the team, that guides the two of you and helps you and encourages you in your leadership. And it's building something. We've done that from day one. And it's building something that, some of these things are flimsy, Travis. We've seen them built before and they fall like a deck of cards. What Dr. Erin and Garth are building and teaching the rest of us to build, it is bedrock solid. So I know a lot of that comes from you as well, Travis. It's bringing it all together. The time is now. The place is here.
Amen. And Joby has the best shirt award of the day. Just
She does.
Awesome. Any other thoughts, comments, questions, or feedback before we wrap up today's call?
Yeah, Travis, I got one.
Please, Deborah, go for it.
It kind of pulls away from this a little bit, but I wanted to have some insight into, I've been collecting the business cards of different random businesses that would definitely benefit. How do you guys approach businesses that obviously did not seek you out, but you're seeking them out?
So I walk in, I say, hey, I'm a nutraceutical rep with the world's first and only innovative plant DNA lozenge, and I would love 15 minutes with the decision maker. Could I get on the schedule? I would like to introduce them to a new product.
Beautiful.
And then you obviously bring product with you. Are you giving all of the product to them? Are you giving samples? Like, how are you because I did this with one group and it kind of just took the samples, and then I had approached them a couple times and it was just like, no, I'm good. We're good. But we're keeping the samples. So since I don't have a ton of samples left, because I've been giving them out like crazy horse, how much do you offer up to
that's
do
all
the
different,
sink line
like
and hooker?
It's all different, like you said, based on what you have in terms of your inventory. And so,
what the business is.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we can talk more about that if you want.
Well, and I would also, one of the things, Deborah, that I enjoy doing is if you go into these coffee shops and these places, these boards have all of these different, like, they have all of these, what was that?
It's,
That is
our
our
husky is
husky.
hungry.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's what
he's,
huskies do.
he's bugging me to feed him right now.
You go into these coffee shops and there's all of these boards with, cards, business cards sitting out, and all those people are entrepreneurs. All of those people are just trying to solicit their business. And I've actually found some great success in reaching out and calling and just saying, hey, listen, I got your card. And you know what? I've been looking to align myself with a realtor in the area, somebody that I can refer business to. And, I'd love to build a network, build a relationship with you. This is what I do. And just literally starting that conversation that way. And naturally they say, well, tell me more about what you do. And I act like I'm interviewing them. I'm looking for somebody to come across people from time to time that are looking to buy homes, and I need to find somebody to refer my contacts to. And so I just wanted to reach out and connect and get to know you a little bit better. And that's the spark that starts building the relationship. So those are all great people to talk to, Deborah.
That's awesome. Thank you for the info, because obviously I like to talk, so I'm willing to reach out and talk to people. So thank you. Appreciate it for both of you.
That's great.
Got time for one more. Anybody have one more question, Dr. Erin and Garth?
Hey, I do.
Hi, Brenda.
Hey, you guys.
Right.
I just want to say that everything has come full circle for me, and I'm getting emotional here. I appreciate you guys so much, and I want that verbiage that you just said so I can put it in my notes.
Okay.
But I'm just honored to be a part of this company. And when I first started, I had a few bumps in the road, but things have settled down for me, and I'm here for the duration. And I'm just honored to be a part of this team and what this company stands for. And we absolutely do have something in our hands that a lot of people don't know what we've got, and we need to be the advocate to shout it from the rooftops. And so I appreciate you guys for letting me hang on your coattails for the ride, because I'm just so excited for everybody.
Well, thanks, Brenda.
Thank you, Brenda. And thank you, Brenda, for always pouring into me. No matter how successful you get in life, you need people like Brenda that pour love into you. So thank you.
Oh, well, y'all are welcome.
Well, we're gonna.
And I want that verbiage too.
Okay, honey.
We've got a lot of business to do today, a lot of people to talk to, too good of a promotion to keep to ourselves and to keep secret. So we're going to get off here and go get to work. But let's everybody give a round of applause to Dr. Erin and Garth for sharing their wisdom. There were so many pearls that were shared on today's call. And this recording is going to be uploaded into the team pages. Dr. Erin and Garth will have a copy of it as well, so they can share it out on their social media. But I'm guessing there's many of you that are thinking, I wish I had more people that watched this that were on my team so they could hear those stories and build the belief through Dr. Erin and Garth's experiences. And so let's make sure to tag them, invite them to watch these interviews that we do as we move forward. Because I really believe that these stories that we are hearing, like today, are the stories that are going to build the belief and allow you to be able to come from a place of conviction when you go out and share it with others. So Dr. Erin and Garth, we love you. Thank you very much for your leadership.
Thank you, Travis.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Let's go make it a great day. Let's dream big, work hard. Let's go change some lives. You guys take care.
Bye, everyone.
Love y'all.
Thank you.